Ba-ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Da-da-da-dum, da-dum, dum, da-dum. Da-da-da-dum. We have an ad soon. That's a problem for me and for you. Wow. My ad everyone is now going to mention 30 plus people, which means I have 30 plus people in the Discord. Hooray! How exciting is that? Discord growing. Matt happy. Things doing better. But I'm gonna finish announcing a few things. Well, not really announcing things. I'm just kind of sitting here, letting anyone who wants to show up, and then we're gonna get into some detailing stuff. Which is super exciting, and I have to figure out how to talk more to people and things and stuff. And I hope my audio's okay, and, panic about half a dozen other things. Because I panic about all the things. So, it's exciting. But I'm gonna go until about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Normally I'm gonna try and go to 6, but circumstances today dictate that I have to end a little bit early. But that's okay. We are going to swap over to this, which is currently how I have the camera set up. It will probably change, I don't know. But it seems pretty nice. I'm going to do a small little thing. I'm going to shift this back over this way. Bam. And then I'm going to come out from this end. That way, if I'm leaning forward or anything, I'm still center mass in the camera and that sort of thing. So me, hi, I'm right here. The edits that we're doing and typing and writing and everything, and then past that is chat. So if anyone wants to say hi or talk to me or do anything, you're gonna show up over there, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's how we're looking right now, which is exciting. I should get off the pumpkin rolling page because that one comes out tomorrow. Actually, the two of the pages that are meant to come out. Sorry, let me roll that back. I have two things that are coming out today and tomorrow, and I have pages for them set up because the shorts required. Well, they don't require it, but I thought the context of me typing everything out underneath was a little bit more communicative than it just being my face being like, I'm starting a project, look at these things that I'm doing, join my Discord. No, with me actually showing an example of me writing things, it shows that I'm actively here working on some form of minor content. Which is cool. I think I'm actually going to. All right, I'm gonna keep editing this because it didn't look the way I want to. But I'm gonna shorten this. Bring this back this way. I'm actually gonna give more room to the textual area. Vertical. Nope. Quit snapping. Oh, why am I worrying about that? It's fine. Wrong button. Also wrong button. U. That almost gets us to the end. I'm shrinking myself further. Nope, wrong way. Here we go. Gonna take me almost to the end. Vertically. Will not snap. Vertically. Dang, how far do I have to go? Here? I don't like that. That's fine. I'll work on it. It'll get workshopped, that sort of thing. But yeah, hi, it's me. I'm right here. I'm doing things. So, today we're gonna go into a little bit more detail regarding the Worlds Divide. I'm gonna go into some more in-depth details, try and give some lore analysis for it, try and give a presentable page that I can actually put on the website, or the World Anvil, that's can be seen to the public, and that way when people join in, they have a basis of like, oh hey, the Worlds Divide is this is all of the details that are known about it. I'm working within this sort of a universe, and right now our current our current description, words aside, is all right. You know, because it breaks down what, like, the summary of it is, which is, in the beginning of the world, at the moment of creation, a mistake was made, one that split what once was into the vast world known today. As though shearing layers from the material plane, the modern world is divided across a multitude of planes, some known, some forgotten, and many more unexplored. One fact holds true across all the planes, though. Despite their individual tendencies, each plane is systematically the same as the material plane. The highest mountains, the deepest seas, the furthest plains, and even the darkest of caves, all the planes share these characteristics. It leaves little wonder from where the planes originate from, but one fact is known by all who wander the myriad of realms. It all originated from a complete whole. And so I really wanted to emphasize that all of the planes that we're going to describe, and I mean we as in me, the community, and everyone who participates, is that the geographical state of these planes are all the same. So the highest mountain in all the realms is the highest mountain in every realm. The deepest sea, same goes for the furthest plains, that sort of thing. Now, how those change characteristically within the realms themselves are how they become independent. So it's like the idea of in modern world, like if you have an MMO server or an MMO game, and the servers all have the same geography, but where the towns are built, or where events happen, or what things can be found in these servers are all independent. And so that's sort of what we're working with right now. I'm going to take this and I'm going to throw it into my Notepad++. Hooray for Notepad++. And we're gonna kind of remake it. My typical like way that I like doing World Anvil pages is I like doing an italic like lore insert from, say, some person that quickly gives like a short paragraph describing everything that we see, and then I like going and doing a broad paragraph talking about it from a systematic point, and then breaking it down into different areas. So we're gonna try that for right now. We're gonna see what I think, what other people think. And we're going to keep the original text in mind, which I actually have here on my Notepad plus, which is great. Matt loves Notepad plus. It's super nice for text editing. So we're going to start with that. We're going to start with italics. I'm going to put it in quotations, and I'm going to say, at the dawn of time. Sorry, I should say, because I haven't decided whether or not I want things to have existed before the worlds divide, I'm going to say at the dawn of the new era, as the world was being forged anew, a mistake was made. It was a mistake would cause untold let's see. I don't think untold damage is really fair. I guess we need to think about too, like, what effect did this have on the world outside of giving all of these different planes? And a part of that could be like the severity or the power of certain things has weakened to the point of being almost minuscule in the material plane. So, for example, like, let's say someone started a campfire. In the original combined world, it probably wouldn't have taken much, and it would probably be like almost bonfire-esque. But in the modern world, it becomes the equivalent of like a campfire or a torch, which is interesting. So that would go on to further explain that being in like an elemental plane, for instance, if I were to say conjure a fire spell in the fire plane, or the plane of fire, however we'll describe it, it would do more, or it would be emphasized because it's taking in the characteristics that the plane embodies. Chaos is probably the right word. It was a mistake that would cause untold chaos. The world, which had once been one, was fractured like that of a mirror. Its copies, scattering the essence of the world across them, now hold secrets long forgotten, yet born anew. It is a wonder to navigate them. It is an adventure to navigate them all. Alright, so this first little snippet, which is going to be dictated by I'll quote it from something at some point, but it's from the beginning. It's at the dawn of the new era, as the world was being forged anew, a mistake was made. It was a mistake that would cause untold chaos. The world, which had once been one, was fractured like that of a mirror. Its copies scattering... Sorry, I lost that sentence. Its copies, scattering the essence of the world across them, now hold secrets long forgotten, yet born anew. It is a wonder to navigate them. It is an adventure to navigate them all. Now, I want to change that. It's a wonder to see them, or it's a wonder to know them. We'll say it is a wonder to know them, and it is an adventure to navigate them all. I don't like all. And we will say that this is from a forgotten, a quote from a forgotten adventurer. So that sort of gives like an in-world understanding, like, hey, the world was once one thing and no one really knows what was before it, but now it is in all of these pieces, and all of these pieces carry with it untold knowledge, information, secrets, identity. And yet, because they there exist, the urge to adventure is born anew. Sort of like what it's trying to tell there. So, systematically, the world's divide was a cataclysmic event that created the known universe. One world which had been sundered into an infinite number of pieces now exists, not completely explored. No. One world which had been sundered into an infinite number of pieces now exists. Known as planes, the different pieces of the world are known to carry individual perspectives and I don't want to say concepts, but I could do concepts. It's like these planes that exist. They are basically now their own worlds, privatized within. So I wonder. So known as planes, the different pieces of the world are known to carry individual perspectives and independent the different pieces of the world are known to carry individual perspectives. I don't want to use the word essence. That feels incorrect. What do you use for the word makeup? Like for the makeup of the world, for the basis, for the foundation, independent foundations, maybe. Independent something. I don't know what word to put there. We're gonna put dots. All of these planes consist of many the same geographical forms that come from the material plane. However, independent natures. However, that is all they seem to share with the original world. The world's divide marks the beginning of the new era and is starting point for any and every timeline in the world. And so now that we've done like a brief, here's a generalization about it. So the world's divide was a cataclysmic event that created the known universe. One world which had been sundered into an infinite number of pieces now exists. Known as planes, the different pieces of the world are known to carry individual perspectives and independent natures. All of these planes consist of many of the same geological forms that come from the material plane. However, that is all they seem to share with the original world. The world's divide marks the beginning of a new era and is the starting point for any and every timeline within the world. So this is point 1, beginning of the world. This is for us to have a foundational, this is how the world starts, this is what it looks like. And now, moving on, people can start doing anything. They can say in year 100 there was a massive civil war that almost wiped everyone out, but in year 150 something happened and now there's people everywhere again, or a great civilization was built, and so on. We can start stacking the very timeline of the world however we want. It doesn't just have to be everyone working in the present day, which is, in my opinion, very cool. Sorry, there's cats in my room and I'm trying to make sure that they don't get into a fight with one another. But yeah, so I am going to add probably an H2. We're going to say the known planes. And so I'm going to add a small snippet about some of the planes that we have, which are primarily elemental. But that's okay, because this can be added to further on, and each of these will get their own page as well eventually. And so, it's basically perpetuating content. I mean, that Forgotten Adventurer probably needs his own page too, and then to be replaced with, instead of Forgotten Adventurer, like an actual name. But, it's fine. Alright, so we're going to start with the material plane, so it's going to get an H3 here. We're going to say material plane, and then we're going to go down one, and we're going to say the material plane represents the beginning and the end of the infinite planes that have existed since the world's divide event. The material plane was the original world prior to the sundering the planes, and now exists as a shadow of its former self. I guess we can give like some extra details. So based as a fair climate. No. As the foundation of the world, the material plane hosts all forms of the multitude of planes and spaces that had broken away from it. As such, it represents, or it consists of an innumerable number of environments and areas that allow for the suitable living conditions for almost any creature or entity. The material plane is that being said, due to the world's divide, much of the material plane has weakened in terms of nature. For example, flames may no longer burn as hot as they once did due to the existence of the plane of fire taking that essence as its nature. So that's cool. I like that. Enter view mode. Oh, cool, sick. Yeah, so you have the worlds divide, you have this comment here. I probably need to remove all of the like extra spaces. Like this one doesn't need to be here. There's 2 here. I feel like something needs to go here. I can probably put M1 the worlds divide again, but I feel like that's kind of firstly, wait, why? Okay, so I can just do this and that's fine. View it again. Okay. Let's tick these down 1 then. We can go 3, 4, 4, 3. Look again. Is this not saving? These edits not saving? What is happening here? That doesn't look like that changed. Just gonna refresh the page. Refreshing the page. Take a look at it now. Why do you look like you haven't changed? Why does this make me grumpy? I mean, I can go further. I can go 4 here. What does this do? Does this make the 2 the same? The size changes, but what is this doing here? Why do I not have... Why is the space awful? Is it because it's a... Oh, that's even worse. This sucks. I don't like this. I don't know why it's doing this. You can view in world. This might be better. Okay, that's better. I like the way this looks more. So you have the material plane and what it consists of, the worlds divide, and then we'll go on to add more planes. I probably won't. I might not fill in all of the information regarding them right now, but we can at the very least fill in more. I will turn this, excuse me, back to 3 though. And I'm gonna turn on some music. I don't know about you guys. I am going to go turn on some cool music. And I'm gonna make sure it goes into the Discord or into this, because it would be fun. We want this, we want this, we want this. Right? Why can I not see it? What is happening here? Oh, it was hidden in Mixer, that's why. Alright, so I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna lower its volume down a bit, and now it should be good. You guys let me know if it gets too loud, and then of course I will lower the volume. So now, what we're gonna do is I'm going to hit enter twice, and we're gonna do H4 again, and we're going to do the plane of fire. I'm gonna go ahead and just add the elemental planes. So actually what I will do is I will add a segment known as the elemental planes underneath H4, and then I can do H5 and do the different elemental planes this way. Let's see, it's fire, water, air, earth, light, shadow. And add an enter between each of them. And this will just sort of act to space out the project. And so now when we view in world, we have the elemental planes, which separates into elemental plane of fire, water, air, earth, light, shadow. And then I'll probably, let's go add, I keep saying I will probably, I'm going to do it like now for most of the stuff that we're doing. Let's add a short paragraph in here talking about the elemental planes. A part of the fractured world. The elemental planes are a myriad of realms that have each taken on a I want to say a necessary element as its nature. These planes are steeped in the powers of these elements and are often among the most predictable of the chaotic planes. Simply due to understanding the element of which the plane is tied to. So this gives a small snippet. It's like these planes exist as a part of they are a part of the fractured world. They exist as pieces of the primary world. However, these ones are entirely focused on the nature of elements. So that's pretty cool. Okay. So we can give short descriptors here. Within the plane of fire, nature and water find little to no purchase. It is a world where ash falls like rain. And the seas roar with unending fire and magma. This world is tuned into the fiery nature that is the flame element, and as such, anything that consists of this element is emphasized. Magic or material. So, within the plane of fire, nature and water find little to no purchase. It is a world where ash falls like rain and the seas roar with unending fire and magma. This world is tuned into the fiery nature that is the flame element, and as such, anything that consists of this element is emphasized, magic or material. Meaning, anything from a small cantrip or torch to a massive bonfire or great spell will find its effects enhanced should they consist of the fire element. So nice little snippet there. Sorry, checking my email for a moment. Gotta love when there's an infinite number of jobs and yet no one wants to hire you. Sorry, that's personal business. It's fine. Alrighty. Plane of water. Was said once that a sea, no matter how large, would one day find a shore to wash upon. Within the plane of water, this saying finds no ground with which to stand on. Within this great plain, it is said that the oceans and seas go on forever. And the land that had once been a copy from when the plains were whole is now sunken too far ever to reach. So, the plane of water is a massive ball of water. That doesn't mean that there's not islands. I just love the description of this place just seems to go on perpetually. And if everything consists of a bunch of islands, then it makes sense that there is a route that exists that you can go perpetually and never find land. I really like the plane of water because it means that it can be full of pirates. And I think that's pretty cool. It's basically One Piece, let's be honest. It very well could be, depending on people's interests. And I find that very funny. But, so the plane of water exists. And the nice thing about how we're doing this, how I'm writing all of these out, is that because each of these, the plane of fire, water, air, earth, light, shadow, the material plane, all of these will have their own pages. And so when we get to those pages, we can start like detailing down about locations or times or the timeline for it, or a myriad of things like that. Like we can do a notable locations, and then the time era that they're from, and depending on what other people add, we can even do small things like NPCs. I really want to do a bunch of small like flowers, plants, herbs, because I want to implement some form of a crafting in this, of being like recipe : I don't know, fish tacos, and it's any sort of fish along with these herbs gets a fish taco from this region, and it's known, and basically write out the history of fish tacos, because that sounds like fun, actually. sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like a blast. Being able to write out all these details and stuff is a lot of fun, but it's also a lot of work. And so that's kind of like, even right now, I'm like, man, I've written a lot. There's 600 words here, as opposed to what I wrote originally, which is, how many words is this? I don't know. Is there a word count here? I don't know how to do word count in Notepad++. It's fine. I don't actually care. He says as he continues to look for it. They're really not? I'm gonna have to look into that real quick. Hold, please. Oh, it's summary. It's view summary. No, wait. Yeah, there's 140 words that I originally wrote for this, and we're already at 600, which means we've done 4 times the amount of words already, as opposed to what we had done, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. It's a little wild. Why is my computer having a panic attack? There we go. And that's awesome. I mean, this alone would give a lot of people more ideas about like things to do, or things to want to do, or things to make, and I think that's really cool. Because this clip is gonna, or not this clip, but this VOD is gonna go up on YouTube, and yeah, it's gonna be long form content, so I probably won't get a lot of attention to it, but it'll help further emphasize all of the different things that we're working on, all of the intense details that are being discussed, and I'm looking forward to see what people create from it, because it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be really, really cool. The plane of air. It is said that this plane is perhaps the most unique out of the elemental planes. Not simply because one can find seas and rivers flowing up into the skies, but because at the end of those seas and rivers, one can find land cast adrift alongside the clouds. The plane of air features a variety of floating or flying islands, breaking apart the landscape one might know from the material plane. So that's cool. So the elemental plane, or the plane of air, is all about like verticality rather than is there a horizontal I guess it's horizontally and vertically. No, is there a horizontal verticality Is there a horizontal version of verticality? I'm learning things today. Hold, please. Horizontal version of verticality. Is there? Horizontality? Oh, I hate that word. Horizontality. Horizontality? Horizontality? I hate that. That word sounds awful. Horizontality. I don't like that. I don't like that at all, but that's fine. But basically, the plane of air is the first major elemental plane that really breaks up the geological aspect that made all of the planes equivocal to the material plane. And that's because different segments of land and sea and everything else have kind of like stretched across the vertical plane, resulting in floating islands or flying seas or a myriad of different things, which is kind of cool. Now, contrary to that is the plane of Earth. To the verticality. Air. Plane of Earth finds itself on the surface similar to the material plane in terms of geography. Delving deeper, however, would reveal true differences between the two planes. Plane of the Earth. No, the plane of Earth. Of caverns and caves and all the manner connections between them is an intricate labyrinth of passageways that one could get lost forever. And now we come to the more obtuse elements. So I considered adding like light and shadow as sort of like outside of the realm of elements. But I decided to keep them in because they represent quite literally the aspects of light and dark. And so it gives a place of like shadow beasts or light beings to exist without necessarily integrating those creatures with, you know, like divine or demonic tendencies, because we can have like a realm of divine or a plane of divinity at some time whenever we talk more about the gods and how they'll work in this, because I have an idea. Roughly the deities of this world are going to be entirely conceptual. So like if someone or a group of people believes in this entity enough, their belief causes or brings about existence. And this way anyone can be like, hey, well, I want to make a god of this. And I can be like, okay, cool. Tell me how they came about. Tell me what people believe in them. And stuff like that. And we'll add them in. Because it does more to give the community freedom by making gods not necessarily within a framework or within a pantheon, so as to allow the community to create more unique things and as much or as little as they want to. And so it's pretty cool. It's exciting, some may say. I am going to be right back. I need to get something to drink. My throat has been bothering me lately. So I'm going to throw this up, and I will be right back. I have returned, and I have some water, which is great. Because it means that I can keep going without issue. For right now, at least. Alright, so, the plane of light. Place that seems to know no darkness. The plane of light fulfills its elemental ties in many ways. To say that this fragment knows no night, excuse me, should be apparent. But more than that, it truly is to the understanding of those who have explored this plane that no shadow exists anywhere. In the depths of the sea, all is bright, and in the darkest of caverns, the deepest of caverns, there's light. I think that's a fair enough kind of short and sweet thing to that. Is a place that seems to know no darkness, the plane of light, which I should capitalize these. I don't know why I'm not. They are proper names. Fulfills its elemental ties in many ways. To say this fragment knows no night should be apparent, but more than that, it truly is. It truly is, comma, to the understanding of those who have explored this plane. No, it shouldn't be a comma. It truly is to the understanding of those who have explored this plane that no shadow exists anywhere. In the depths of the sea, all is bright, and in the deepest of caverns, there is light. There is no darkness to be found here. In contrast with the plane of light, this dark plane seems to eat at all sources of light, draining and darkening all that enters and exists. The plane of shadows is a world of deep darkness. To say that it is evil would be short-sighted. This plane exists only as a copy of the material plane, but in a perpetual, starless, moonless night. So there we go. So we have the elemental planes with brief descriptions describing how they work. This is only the elemental planes, the known planes, but I do make it obvious that there are planes that aren't known, and there will be more. I really need to find a better way to set up this page. I want to keep like this divided portion idea. I don't know what to do. Maybe do something like this with this stew. Nope, that just kind of got rid of it, huh? Oh gosh, who knows? It's fine. I'll figure out something. But this way it kind of keeps things together. It's still a draft, but it is public, so I think it should just not show up here. I need it to show up here. Let's go to the dashboard. Oh, the worlds divide. Settings. Absolutely not. Advanced options. No. Text editor settings. No. Where's the thing of which I'm trying to do? Oh, I can go to old version edit. Yeah, this is better. So I can publish this. I can save changes. And now, if I go view the page, so it's the same as it was, but I can go here, and you can see the Worlds Divide. What a neat little thing right there. Unfortunately, you can't see it on... There is no campaign for this. Dismiss tutorial. Can I, like, remove this page? Because there is no campaign for this. Settings. I didn't mean to click that. Styling. I don't know. It's fine, I guess. I'll just complain about it. But that's pretty cool. So now I can go to, and in fact, I think I'm going to make a new channel under community building, and I'm going to call it World Updates. I'm going to create this channel. It's going to be below the world building rules, and I'm going to eventually, I say eventually, I need to get a thing made up that gives the ability for people to choose the community world building role, and then that way they can see it and I can ping it. Because I don't want to ping everybody right now, but I feel like I'm about to. I can go to the home page, I can copy this at here. We have our first major update to the world setting. Follow the link below and you will find the world anvil containing our community building project. No, Lincoln, get down. Go lay on my parents' bed. That's for my cat. Sorry, I'm being caddist right now. You will find the world building, or the world anvil containing our world building project. Currently, the update for this time consists around the Worlds Divide page. The Worlds Divide event marks our world's origin, and everyone can base their ideas off of this from there. I look forward to seeing what you all create. Thank you. I can go bam that. I'm leveling up in my own server, which is so cool. So now in world updates, we have a link to the world anvil, which is great because it'll bring them to here. And then here you can click Worlds Divide, and from there you will see the Worlds Divide segments, which is pretty cool. You can read all about it. It does all these things, has all this stuff. I'm going to change the inspiration a bit. Final Fantasy XIV, and I was thinking of other things in the middle of this. So I'm going to say Forgotten Shores for some of it. And then I'm going to say, among others. That way, because I'm not afraid to say that, hey, I got this idea for this project from this. Because I know for a fact that no matter what I come up with, it's going to be different from what I'm pulling inspiration from. Like in this instance, I pulled the reflections from Final Fantasy XIV, but instead of having 14 of them, I made endless, and I'm giving everyone the ability to make them at their leisure. Which is really cool to me, personally. So, but we are about an hour in, which is awesome. And we have this page done. These first few streams, like I said, are going to be a little short just because they are going to be, like, it will get bigger as we get more pages, and we'll get more pages faster than we have streams. Friday, for example, is going to be a longer stream because I'm just going to play video games. I'm going to kick back and relax, not force myself not overexert myself towards making all of this content or working it all out. I'm going to give myself time. I'm going to pace myself. In the future, I might move gaming days to Wednesday just because it would be easier to have a Monday and a Friday, and give myself time to build up in between them, which would be pretty cool. I'm also going to do an instance of things where one of the days of the week that I'm working on this are going to be primarily for my own personal additions. Like, I made the Worlds Divide, so I'm working on the Worlds Divide. I made the World Runes, which is one that will come out today. And so I'm going to work on the World Runes, but on Fridays, whenever, after we have a few people who get their ideas approved and they get implemented on pages and into shorts, and I tag them, then on those days I'm going to do purely viewer content, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to edit, and we're going to delve deeper and extrapolate more about viewer content or viewer ideas, and so that we can better integrate them into the world, while giving the focus towards the person who gave the idea, and giving them their own time to shine. So with that being the case, I might end it here. I know it was only an hour long, but like I said, right now the only thing that's out is Worlds Divide. In the future there will be more, there will be much more to work on, but I'm currently out of things right now without revealing more than what I want to, and without taking away from things in the future. I'm just double checking what's available. So World Runes actually comes out today at 2 or at 4, excuse me. I am double checking my shorts right now. So yeah, right now is only Worlds Divide. So that means on Monday next week, we'll have Worlds Divide, or sorry, World Runes, Pumpkin Rolling, which if you don't know what that is, you should wait around for Thursday because it's going to be really funny. As well as whatever I come up with the third one. It'll probably be Deities, will be the Friday one. And then, so Monday we'll have 3 different pages to go through and kind of extrapolate more about. So for right now, I'm gonna go throw this stream at a friend of mine. His name is Zir. I know it's just me, but I don't care because it is the thought that counts. I'm just gonna throw it at him. Just gonna throw it that way. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.